Hey, welcome to Caching in the Northwest. This is the only podcast. This is the official podcast. That's the one I wanted. This is the official podcast of GeoWoodstock 18 right here in the great Pacific Northwest. Now, it's Thursday at 9 p.m. Pacific, daylight saving time, which may be our last. I don't know. Anyway, and I'm Chris of the Northwest, and we're going to talk about caches and cachers from here and all around the globe. So while you're trying to find your pot of gold, we'll be caching in the Northwest.
Oh, that's right. And as you say, it is 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Oh, wait, never mind. But tonight we're talking about going green. And who doesn't love a little green? I haven't seen any in a while, but I do like it when I've got it. And as always, live audience, we want to hear from you because, well, you just make the show more green.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow. Great. That's what it is, yes. Because green logs, simply never mind.
Wait.
Let's just get off of me and bring in our chartreuse shrimp. It have to be right? Chartreuse shrimp. Chartreuse chimpanzee. How about that? Some say he never wins at rock, paper, scissors. Others say he has more energy than a chipmunk on Red Bull. Green Bull tonight, maybe. Anyway, all we know is he's called Len Monkey.
Hola, amigos.
Oh, wait, change your language settings.
It's Spanish for St. Patrick's Day. Isn't that how that works?
Sure.
Yeah,
okay.
Sure. Uh-huh. Yeah, sure, you betcha. Uh-huh.
Well, I figured my Spanish was probably about as good as Chris's Irish accent. So
let me tell you something about Thursday at 3:30.
Oh, please don't. Okay.
He's just keeping it chartreuse there.
That's all. Yeah, that's right. Keeping it chartreuse. He is amazeballs, no question about it. All right, San Patrick. I love it. GST, thank you. That's perfect. St. Patrick's Day. All right. Hey, quick reminder before we jump into too much else that we appreciate the support of our patrons who help to keep this podcast coming each and every week. A special thanks to Land Sharks, one of our 2 corporate Denali level sponsors. And remember, Land Sharks has got that order. I think it might have gone in, but if it hasn't gone in, well, you know what? There's always another order going in. So if you want anything from shop geocaching and you don't want to have to deal with duty, shipping, what have you, and it's going to be easier for you to work with the Land Sharks because they're pretty easy to work with. Well, just head on over there. Check it all out at landsharkswithaz.ca. And they've got tons of other stuff besides the shop geocaching stuff that you can check out. Check them out online. Tons of great stuff. And our other corporate Denali level sponsor, well, that's Gold Country Geotourism. Hey, it's just about time to be planning your geocaching adventures up into Gold Country. In fact, it is time to be planning your Gold Country Geotour adventures. So visit exploregoldcountry.com, learn about the geotour, learn about all the amazing other things there are to do besides geocaching in Gold Country. There are other things besides geocaching, I have been told. And if you want to see a little bit of what Gold Country has to offer, well, make sure to check them out online by following their social media because they are always posting cool stuff on Instagram, Facebook, and the Twitters. So again, explore Gold Country. Now, if you want to know more about supporting this show, well, click that Patreon link on the cachingandw.com a website.
Did you hear? He said duty.
I did.
Yeah.
I don't even know what duty is.
It's your duty to find out.
Okay. Hey,
what?
It's also time for the glow. And what is the glow, you may ask?
What is the glow?
Somebody asked. Why, it's the geocaching log of the week. I love this interaction we have. So whether you read it or whether you wrote about it, why am I so far off tonight? I'm not good. You know what? It must be all the green.
Wow, it could be.
Okay.
That's a convenient excuse anyways.
Yeah, whether you wrote it or whether you read it, we want to hear about it because great logs simply make geocaching better. You can send an email or a recording to feedback@cachingnw.com. You can call in to 253-693-TFTC and show us just how you glow. Oh,
Yeah,
thank you, gas station tuna. It's daylight savings. That threw me off.
Yeah. As opposed to GST, Greenwich Standard
GST.
Time, or gas station tuna.
Is GST affected by DST?
Everybody is affected by DST, unless you're smart enough to live in Arizona. But they're not in the Northwest, so we don't care about them.
Time change.
Yeah. And, email, voicemail, field recording, no paper involved there. Those are all green ways to send in your glow.
See, we were ahead of the green curve.
That's right. And this glow this week, that's the green log of the week. It says, howdy, gentlemen. I have a glow submission, if it's not too long. The FTF log from GeoRick402 on my tree climb cache called Don't Send a Boy to Do a Man's Job. That's GC90XY5, don't you know?
Wow, you froze up there. Was that just me?
I don't know.
Okay.
It's 66 degrees Fahrenheit here in the garage. It's not quite freezing.
I think it's just you, but keep
That's
going.
19.1 Celsius, because you guys wanted to know that. The submitter says, for context, I placed this cache in the same tree as an archived cache.
Wits End talking? Because I don't. There's Wits End back again.
Hidden by a younger cacher. The boy, referred to in the log below as You're Slow. This cache was about 12 feet off the ground. Mine is about 40. So, should I continue, or are you just not hearing me?
I hear you fine.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I see you pause from time to time. So, you know what? I'm going to sit back and be quiet. You just keep on talking.
I think we should ask our live audience to give us real-time feedback if they think that Jim is experiencing gaps in service and delays, or if Chris is experiencing gaps in time and space.
Maybe it's because I'm podcasting from 8 p.m. Standard Time.
Oh, there.
Does that have something to do with it?
There you go.
Okay.
You're getting a lot of feedback there.
Okay, so I'm going to continue on with the glow here.
Please do.
Okay. And it says, boy, oh boy, does this man have a story to tell. After getting home yesterday from Black Hills, I have 2 surprise visitors. My granddaughter Chloe, which we had to keep overnight and bring her to her softball game today, unless it gets rained out, and my brother Scott, who left Hilton Head Island 2 days ago, working his way to Rochester, New York to visit his son and spend the night there. Wow, that first paragraph was too much. Anyhow, I get up this morning to feed Chloe breakfast, and I'm checking my emails, and I see this cache pop up. Funny description. Do I have time? Can I get to it? My brother came up from the basement. I told him about the cache, and he said, don't be a boy, be a man, and go get that sucker. I'm a little delayed in my cache logo there. So he, myself, and Chloe loaded ourselves into the Geomobile. On the way, I was praying to the Geo God for a safe mission. It's one thing falling to your death in front of your brother, but quite another doing it in front of your granddaughter. We got to the park, walked through the wet grass to ground zero to see a group of trees. Some items to bring or not to bring. Gloves and a long-sleeved shirt will be helpful unless you want to come down covered in black, sticky sap. Bring an extra bison tube, zip tie, and log sheet just in case you drop something. It's not fun climbing this tree twice, like I did, but not because I dropped something. More about that later. Weight limits. That's all in caps, so it's important. You're Slow is always saying I'm too overweight for doing these kind of finds, but only one branch broke, and I broke it on my own to get a better view. If you weigh less than me, you'll be fine. Remember, you're doing this at your own risk. No one's responsible except for you. I may no longer be a boy, but I am a man. An old man. An overweight man. a weak man, but a man. Don't bring your wallet unless you'd like to have it in your pocket just in case you do fall, then someone can identify you. There were a few spots I had to zigzag in between branches, and because of my fat butt, an extra 2 inches of the wallet made it rough. I took my guess as to which tree to climb. Which one is it? You tell me. All I can say, it's probably the easiest one to get up into. Up I went. Up, 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 and up. How high can you go? Not as high as GeoRick's airmail, but you'll go pretty high. Read the description to see what side of the tree you want to be on. I kept looking as I was climbing and not seeing a thing. I finally stopped, started looking around and not seeing a cache. Dang it, did I climb the wrong tree? It looked like I could go up 2 or 3 more branches before my weight may be an issue, so up I went. Stopped, looked up, and there it was. The fat, overweight, out of shape, old and bald man went up another branch and was able to retrieve it. At this point, my only fear was not dying, but dropping something. I removed log sheet, signed log sheet, replaced log sheet without dropping a thing. Then my brother yells up for me to bring it down so he can sign it. I yell back, "You're not a premium member. You can't log it." Then I heard another voice yell up, "Yes, he can, and so can I." I look down to see a stranger. He yells up, "My name is Sean, SB 209th. Then my brother says Chloe can't claim a find unless she touches it. What a bonehead my brother is. So down I go with the log sheet, as I get to the last branch, I toss it to my brother. He scribbles something on it, rolls it up, and tosses it up to me. I'm ready to climb up when Chloe yells, "Pop, Pop, I didn't touch it." So I toss it down again. She touches it. My brother tosses it back up. I'm ready to go up again when SB 209th says, "What about me?" I ask him, "Can I just add your name or do you want to touch it also?" He says just to add his name. So I do it right there so I won't have to worry about dropping it from the top of the tree. Finally, up I go again. Up, 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 and up. How high can you go? This again. Zigzag, cursing out the wallet and the sap and my brother. Easy find the second time, but now I'm getting exhausted. I'm not a young, healthy, strong boy like some people, but an old, overweight, weak man. But a man. I am. Everything is back in place. Mission accomplished. Never have to do this again unless some boy wants me to do it for him, and that'll cost the solutions of 15 mystery caches of my choice. As for moms, my mom doesn't want to hear about me and my tree climbing stories, as 3 times as a boy I fell out of them and ended up in the hospital. But being the man I am, I don't let that scare me, and I still climb them. All of this man-boy talk, what about woman? If a woman does the climb, she's a woman. Does that mean if she doesn't, does that mean she's a womboy? Happy trails. This is from Nels. Bloody cool. I think that's a caching name. But it's a bloody cool story as well.
Yes, it is. Isn't that a great story?
That is quite the log. Absolutely. My goodness.
Oh, too much fun.
Awesome. Well, thank you for sending that in. We really enjoyed hearing Jim retell it.
Yeah, it was kind of, and it really rings true, because when I go caching with Chris, he lets some fat, old, balding man climb trees for him too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The view from up there is pretty good, actually.
Does he have to touch the cache?
Oh, he's got to touch something. Usually it's my fist on the way. No.
Yikes. GSM times 2 says, do others spot the cache before climbing the tree?
Why would you
Well,
do
that's
that?
ideal. It doesn't always
Hello.
happen.
Doramore says, I usually don't climb for anything I can't see first, and often don't climb for caches I can see.
There you go. All right. Well, hey, folks, if you want to participate on tonight's topic, use hashtag LNT. I don't know why LNT. What does that stand for?
Low noise trombone.
It's Lent without a vowel.
Oh, okay. All right. Lent without a vowel if you want to contribute to tonight's topic on green technologies and going green. Of course, hashtag FATAS to bring up a topic in the after show. Basically anything on any topic that you want to chat about or you want to hear us chat about. Hashtag FATAS. And of course, last but not least, do not forget to tell us, what are you baking tonight? Tell us what The Rock is cooking. Tell us what you are cooking. We want to know. Use hashtag podcast baking. I know there's some podcast baking going on around me tonight, so I'm really pleased about that. But
did we get to see samples of it?
Here's one I've prepared earlier.
That's right. I don't know. It all depends on when it's ready. But
we'll just keep we'll keep podcasting
until it shows up in front of me. Perfect. Hey, we've got some news. Just a reminder that
yes, we talked about this last week.
We did. So it's a reminder that this Saturday, so if you're listening live, it's 2 days from now. If you're listening to the podcast after it gets released, it's either today or you missed it. Yeah. But Saturday, March 19th, in recognition of Washington State's parks birthdays. And then again, so don't worry if you missed the March 19th, Friday, April 22nd, in celebration of Earth Day, you do not require to display your Discover Pass for day-use visits to a Washington State park. So plan your geocaching days, March 19th and April 22nd for Washington State parks, because you can get in for free.
Freezies.
Who doesn't like free?
I know.
It's the best price.
Yeah, it's in my budget.
Yeah, unless it's your salary.
Yeah, we don't like that so much.
Sometimes is.
Yeah, pro bono gets old quickly. All right, well,
so did Sonny Bono.
Let's kick off this going green topic, talking about trees. Speaking of Sonny Bono, we're going to start with the leave no trace principle. There's a website you can go to. We can go to, this website is really long. It's lentwithoutan.org. You can abbreviate that to lnt.org.
So now we know what the LNT stands for. Leave no trace. All right.
Leave no trace.
Liquid natural terror.
Ooh. Yeah. I've experienced that. Thought it was gas. Nope. So, what are 7?
Oh boy.
There are 7 principles, I understand. Chris is going to tell us all about them.
You're going to have to go on and do this, Wits End. You've cracked us up. We're done. Okay.
It's really dangerous at the top of a tree, apparently. Makes the tree slippery all the way down.
All the way down.
Oh man.
So if you're familiar with leave no trace, there are 7 principles behind it. Other than just, hey, pack in what you pack out what you've packed in, right? Mm-hmm. So Komakino says, wow, this show took a bizarre turn. It does pretty much every week, but this week's really different. Yeah, we're just in a mood. The first of the leave no trace principles is to plan ahead and prepare, right? So we've talked about this on the backpacking show we just did last week. You know what? Choose your equipment and clothing for comfort and for safety when you go out in the outdoors. Make sure that you're going to, have something that's comfortable and safe. Don't expect to go hiking in flip-flops. I know people do it, but don't. And consider the weather, the group size, and the terrain. Right? These are things you have to think about when going out into nature.
So this sounds like also one of our 3 T's here.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much is.
Okay.
Everything relates back to the 3 T's.
In some way, yeah. Okay. But okay, plan ahead and prepare. So, and I guess in the context of leave no trace, it's plan ahead and prepare so that you're minimizing your impact on the environment that you're visiting. Is that that's
Exactly.
what I'm reading here? Okay.
Yes. Somebody want to go with the next one? Or should I just read them all through? I could do that.
Why don't you read them all through and then we'll criticize you?
Comment on them? Okay, criticize me for not doing it right?
Yeah.
Travel and camp on durable surfaces. What they want you to do is walk on the trails, right? Don't make your own trails. That's not the way to do this. You're going to damage the flora and fauna. Maybe not the fauna so much, but the flora.
What about Merriweather?
I
don't know. Merriweather, Lewis?
I like the fact that they're referring to durable surfaces. So
flora,
like only on paved paths or
paved, okay, so it's true when the Forest Service or the Parks Department put a path out in there and it's paved, or it's a walkway of some sort, gravel or planks or whatever. Yes, that does make an impact. Yeah. But the idea is that thousands of people walking over this path will then make a much less impact in the future.
Yeah.
So somehow we just got information that says durable surfaces include established roads and campsites, rocks and gravels and dry grasses or snow. Protect riparian areas by camping at least 200 feet from lakes and streams.
Mm-hmm.
And good campsites are found, not made. Altering a site is not necessary.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. The next of these 7 principles is to dispose of waste properly. Now, we talked a little bit about this again in the backpack episode, right? In most locations, burying your human waste is the correct manner and the most effective means to take care of this if there aren't facilities available. It's amazing the little boy, I can't think of the words. The toilets you'll find on a trail.
Can I share something with you that I learned recently?
I don't think we can stop you.
No, you can't. So thanks, Jim. It actually relates to the history of your country. So there's a particular couple of gentlemen and a very famous woman named Sacagawea who traveled across the United States. And apparently what I learned recently is that archaeologists have been able to identify where the groups stayed the nights, where they set up camps, based on finding the pit toilets they dug, and then examining the fecal matter in them. And if they found that there was a high level of mercury in the fecal matter, then it was probably from the Lewis and Clark group, because they had a magic elixir with them to help their digestive processes that was very high in mercury.
I thought you were going to say they were driving a Mercury.
No. I think it was Mustangs that Sacagawea traded for, wasn't it? From her brother.
Could be.
That's a Ford product, just like the Lincolns.
Yeah.
If I had money, I'd tell you what I'd do. I'd go downtown and buy a Mercury or two.
There you go.
I'm crazy about a Mercury.
I've heard that about you.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, people. Outhouses or pit toilets was the
latrine
or latrines was the word I was thinking of that I just couldn't come up with. So I mean,
if there's one topic that we know we're really good to talk about, this is it.
This is it. Yeah,
we're in our wheelhouse right now. I can just tell you that right now.
I like that your point here says in most locations burying the human feces is the correct manner, and I'm glad that you qualified that by if facilities are not available, because obviously that should be your first choice. Just saying.
Yes.
I mean, it
Exactly.
really depends on a state of urgency and
Well,
so many other
and quite
things.
frankly, it depends on the state of cleanliness of some outhouses I've found. So,
Some of the outhouses, it would
yeah.
be nicer to go elsewhere, but
Yeah.
nonetheless. So, watch your mercury intake really is what Land Monkey is saying. Otherwise you can be traced.
Yeah.
If you were worried about the government finding out everywhere you go, don't worry about Google.
Well,
Just cut down your mercury intake. Really, that's the secret here.
the government already knows.
They're the one putting the mercury in. So where was I supposed to be? Okay, there may be some areas like river canyons where you have to carry out your waste with you. Okay, that can happen. And when you're using these latrines or pit toilets or outhouses, use the toilet paper sparingly and only plain white non-perfume brands. We don't want to get the lavender scented, lavender colored toilet paper in there because that doesn't break down ever. And I don't know why people buy colored toilet paper. So there you go. We talked also last week about cat holes, digging those and burying the contents.
I hear stinging nettles work well.
Sorry,
Once, and you'll never want to go again.
Yeah.
I giggle when we discuss the topic of cat holes in this context because digging a hole in the ground is not the first thing I think of. So,
No. Bears
Where
don't
else-
do it.
Where else are you going to put your cat?
Because they are terrible to take on
burlap
hikes.
sack? I don't know.
With a rock.
That's right. I mean, you got to be
No
humane.
wonder you don't have any cats, Land Monkey.
You're going to need to change the rating on this episode.
We told you, Chris. We're just gonna derail this whole thing.
Yeah. Okay.
No, I didn't tell you. I'm telling you now. I'm going to continue to derail the podcast tonight. That's my job.
Thank you. Okay. Next, leave what you find. Right. So you're hiking along and wow, that's a beautiful rock. I'm going to take that and put it in my collection. No, leave it for the next person to see the beautiful rock.
Could you bury it in a cat hole?
Then it's not going anywhere. And then nobody else will see it. Maybe that's a good, no.
It really depends on your objective, I suppose. But yeah, I think the idea and the point they're getting at is, obviously a rock is an example, but the point being that anything that you're finding, unique fungi, and Jim's a fungi, leave them in the forest, please.
Please.
I've tried. And look, here he is.
Like a bad penny. Keep trying.
It just keeps showing up every Thursday.
Yeah. You don't know what those things called pennies are anymore. I know that, but we have.
That's right. Like a bad loony.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Oh, well, I've been called loony as well.
There's more.
What's happening in the show notes?
The show notes is going crazy.
The show notes are having epileptic
I think
seizures.
we've allowed one too many person in the show notes is all I'm saying. Okay. Now, also, so when you stop to camp somewhere, don't put a nail in a tree to hang up your food and keep it out of the bear's way. That's not going to work anyway. Don't construct lean-tos or, I like this, tables or chairs or other rudimentary improvements, like a lathe.
Like a lathe, yeah.
Don't hammer nails into trees or hacking them with hatchets or saws or tying tents to the tree trunks.
Easy for you to
That one, for a day or two, that's not going to hurt anything.
I was wondering about that one. Like your tent guy lines tying the tree trunks. I mean, I guess if it's a sapling and you're like really wrenching it in there, okay. But if it's a sapling, what are you doing? But if it's a sturdy tree.
If you've got a hammock, you're going to tie it up between two trees, right?
Now, here's the thing. With the hammocks, you can get nice broad straps for going around the trees and that you suspend your hammock to. And I think I don't see a problem with that. To me, that seems like a very reasonable thing. So I get in general the idea, like don't permanently leave a rope tied around a tree and things like that. But I don't think you're going to risk girdling a tree from having a hammock or a tent guy line tied up overnight.
Even a couple of days, right? I mean, I've got a tree out back here that has had a rope around it for I don't know how many years, and I finally could get a saw in there and I cut it out, and it's left like a 1/2-inch ring around the tree there. It's been girdled.
It's been gurgled?
It's been girdled. Starcasher says, should we leave the colorful beer cans we come across for others to enjoy as well? No.
Absolutely. No?
Oh.
No?
Dig a cat hole.
No.
About 8 to 10 inches deep.
Put them into the geocaches you find.
That's right.
And no matter how much you love your girl, don't carve her initials into a tree.
No, carve your own.
Oh, okay.
Carve your own girlfriend?
No. Well, carve your initials into your girlfriend.
Oh, there's a good idea.
Maybe that's why I could never keep a girlfriend.
I was going to say, how's the marriage going, Jim?
Well, that's fine. She's no longer my girlfriend.
Oh, okay.
It's because you carved your initials into her. That's why.
And then you had to keep her.
You break it, you bought it. I think that's how it works. That's how I ended up married.
She's in the room with you, isn't she?
In the other room. I'll get in trouble later.
See by the way you're looking around.
That's right. I'm just waiting to see what's going to fly at my head.
I don't know what this later thing is. You're always in trouble.
Okay. Next one is minimize campfire impacts, right? Fires versus stoves. Do you really need a campfire to cook with? It takes a long time to get them up to heat. The heat can be uneven. Yeah. Bring a microwave and go into the camper area and use one of their outlets to cook with in your microwave. Then come back. Yeah. And make sure it's fish because they just love that. I'm sorry, we lost Land Monkey.
Oh, no, that was awesome. Fish
Burn some popcorn.
I was going to say popcorn. Yeah.
Yeah.
Overcook the popcorn and cook some fish. There you go.
A campfire is great. It's wonderful. It's warm, inviting, but only in the right spot. Most campsites will have a ring that you put your fire in there. Keep it in that ring. Keep it under control. They go as far as to say only use the local wood. Don't bring in wood from other states and things like that because they can have parasites on them. Thank you. That can get to the trees. Bugs.
Bad things.
Yeah.
If the bad things are there and you burn them up, is that so bad?
That's the whole idea, right?
I mean,
Yeah, the problem is the bad things creep out of the wood before you get to burn them.
Oh. And put the fires out with water, not dirt, not sand, water. Douse, stir, douse, stir, douse. Stir it, douse. And
look
never
left, look right, and look left again.
What happens then to the right?
Doesn't matter.
Okay. Never leave a fire unattended.
No.
Always leave a small child with it.
Yes. No.
Oh, wait.
No.
We're just full of good advice tonight.
Leave the cat.
This is awesome.
Yeah. Leave the cat. Komakino says we almost killed Land Monkey.
Well, keep trying.
Better to be almost killed than almost saved.
Exactly. Yeah, and I think UDAC was talking about your microwaving techniques are the best revenge ever.
Yeah. Bad things creep out of the cat holes too, but that's another story.
Yeah. Not good.
Depends what you put in them, I guess.
Okay, so we have let's go over because we've lost our way. Prepare, plan ahead and prepare. Travel and camp on durable surfaces. Dispose of waste properly. Leave what you find. Minimize campfire impacts. Respect wildlife.
PTDLMR. Right? Yeah, got it.
Okay.
Easy acronym.
Oh, don't disturb wildlife or plants just because, they look pretty and you want to fluff them up to make them look just right for your picture. And observe wildlife at a distance. I will tell you, bears do not like selfies.
You know what other animal doesn't like selfies, but apparently is subjected to them a lot is buffalo and bison.
Buffalo bison. I was just going to say, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. They
So
move
many stories
way
I've heard
faster
from
than you think.
rangers. Yeah. I don't know. Anyways, but yes, that is all. In all seriousness, that is great advice. And honestly, it doesn't even matter if it's a squirrel or a you know or a bear. Like, just give them space. Let them be animals. Let them do their thing.
Right. You know, sick or wounded animals can bite, peck, or scratch, that, you know, may require medical attention for you. Let them be. Yeah, sometimes too is just summarize the entire podcast so far.
See, carve initials into girlfriend, leave beer cans and geocaches, have small children tend fires. Thank you all.
I think that's about the summary so far. Let's see what other good advice we can come up with.
Feedback on this episode can be sent to GeoGearheads. Oh, wait.
Please do. Yes. Gerald needs something to keep him busy. And if you're going to send the feedback to GeoGearheads, please do it without any context.
Yes.
Hey, who put that up there? Nope. There, hide it. Okay, there we go. It went away. Last and least, be considerate to others.
Yeah.
Now, you know, I think we've all experienced, we've gone out on the trails, we're out in beautiful nature, we're listening to the birds and to the animals and to the, you know, twigs we broke as we just went off trail. And somebody comes by with their loud music and we're like, dude, this isn't the place for it.
Okay, I got to ask, what is the deal with people using Bluetooth speakers attached to the outside of their packs, their day packs, while they're hiking? Like, really? Is that necessary? Please stop. Everybody who does that, just
generous
stop.
And sharing their music.
They're just being
he's really proud of his music.
Stop it. None of us want to hear it. And even if we did want to hear it, we don't want to hear it right now. So stop. Don't do that.
Like the same people who, you know, have phone calls in speaker mode in the grocery lines in front of you. I'm like, hi, I'm here too. What? They have you on speakerphone. They don't value your privacy. Go ahead. Tell us something.
Yep. Gas station tuna says they put them on the outside of their backpacks because they couldn't hear it if it was inside their backpack.
Duh.
You know what? Good point. Yeah, I guess
wrap
that's
it up
why
inside your sleeping bag first. That's where all Bluetooth speakers should go.
Indeed.
It's better than the boom boxes of the past. Yes.
Well, you know what? Not really, because at least once the batteries died, that was it.
Yeah, that was 16 D cells though, man. They were going to last all weekend.
Yeah, and you could pull it off and beat them to death with the boom box. Not that we condone such actions, but you could.
You could if you needed to.
Yes.
And then feed them mercury.
Yes.
No.
Oh, and don't eat mercury unless you want people to track your poop for centuries in the future.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, just finding our way says we also heard hug a buffalo.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is the opposite show tonight. So
I think so.
Yeah.
Wow. Starcaster says, I listen to certain podcasts on a Bluetooth speakers. I'm walking in a trail.
Good thing those certain podcasts are no longer on.
But. I think it would be perfect if he was listening to this podcast during the section when I rant about people listening to things on the Bluetooth speakers while he's on the trail.
But would they
and have somebody walk past and go, dude, what's going on?
Inception, dude. Inception.
That's right.
Okay. Here's an interesting one. Right of way on narrow trails. You guys give this?
Well,
you thinking you're crossing that log across the raging river, and some people aren't going to wait for you to get across. Well, I'm more important. I'm going to go. You just have to get out of my way. I'm on a log, dude.
I have my own policies about right of way, and I do give right of way on trails quite often, but what are the policies that you found? Like, what do they advise?
Well, I would assume the uphill person has the right of way.
The person coming downhill.
Down, yes.
You know what? I actually would disagree with that. I say it's the
Okay.
other way around,
How come?
because I say because I look at it just from a perspective of it's a heck of a lot easier to come downhill than to go uphill.
Mm.
So if I'm coming downhill, I will pause and make way for people who are coming uphill. Now, if they choose to pause and make way for me, great. I'm happy to accept that. But I think they're doing more work than I'm doing at that point in time. And so I move off the trail, give them the space or move to the side of the trail if there's no way to move off it, like, it's narrow or whatever. But yeah, no, that's my personal approach. So I was curious to see, like, is there an article on that you're
I
quoting?
don't know. You should always carry a quarterstaff at log crossing. Like Robin Hood and Little John. Look what happened there.
Spin.
There's the problem. Let's see. So magically in the show notes, words appeared. Groups leading or riding pack stock. Pack stock, okay, should always have the right of way on trails. Hikers and bicyclists should move off the trail to the downhill side. Talk quietly to the riders as they pass, since horses and apparently bicyclists can be spooked easily.
What about bicyclists?
Bicyclists?
Yeah.
So this is funny. I have yet to see a mountain biker yield right of way to anybody on a trail. Like, seriously, come on. That's right.
That's kind of like expecting right away from a logging truck.
I guess in a sense, but I mean, logging trucks are usually on the road they actually have the right of the road. They're the ones who the road was built for. So to me, they do get the right of way. Plus, I guess to your point, Wits End, who's going to get hurt more? So,
I don't know if
but the horses thing is a good point, though. I think the horses bit is really good, because we have been on trails a number of times with people on horses, and we definitely try and yield to them and give them the pass by, and exactly as it says, to be quiet, because horses can spook, and apparently so can bicyclists. So there you go. Learn something new tonight. Don't spook bicyclists. Bicyclists.
Bicyclists. There's some interesting conversations going on in the chat.
There always are.
Yeah, I know. Just Joey says, Dormore made me play music on my phone this weekend to keep the bears away.
That's because she didn't like your singing.
That's right. The music was your idea. You didn't like my singing.
See, there you go. I hadn't even read that.
Yeah. Actually, it was to cover up the banjo music, apparently.
There's always banjo music when Dora Moore's caching.
Well, she knows how to wrestle bears anyway.
Indeed.
Melancholy, or monkey cakes, however you want to pronounce the name. According to the National Park Service, hikers coming uphill have the right of way.
Yeah, that's how it should be.
Hiking etiquette.
There you go.
Especially for old, balding, fat men, it takes us a lot of time to get up to speed.
Yeah,
and we need all the help we can get to maintain that momentum. Just saying.
That's right.
Well, I like the fact that monkey cakes just proved my point, and so I'm in support of monkey cakes tonight.
Or we can do rock, paper, scissors, in which case Land Monkey will.
I'm going to lose, so
yeah, he never wins that.
Okay, keep dogs on a leash. I know it's the great outdoors, right? There are a lot of animals roaming free, but there are people who are afraid of dogs. Even if you have the nicest dog that have no teeth and no claws, there are people that's going to go, oh, a dog. Yeah, just, you know what? Just keep it on a leash and clean up after it.
Well, definitely the cleanup after it. But you know what? On the cleanup after it, that doesn't mean put it in a bag and throw it over a little further into the woods.
Or put it in my garbage as you're walking down the street. Why do that? You picked it up, you carry it home.
Or alternatively, if you're out in the wilderness and your dog takes a number two, like, I don't know why I'm being delicate about it at this point in the show, but anyways, just
Do you have to dig a dog hole in that case?
well, I don't know. Like, to me, it's like just use a stick or your boot or whatever and just kick it off the side of the trail. Like, it's going to biodegrade a lot faster if you don't put it in a plastic bag.
Yeah.
And in a few days, it's probably going to mostly be gone, depending on what you feed your dog. Like, if you're feeding your dog mercury, well, that's a whole nother conversation. But the topic of keeping dogs on a leash. Oh, what do we have? Unleashed dogs have been known to go running off into the bush, encounter a bear, and come running back to the human with the bear in hot pursuit. Yeah, yeah, that can happen. I mean, there's lots of sad stories about things that have happened to dogs off leash, and I get it. I don't know. There's a part of me though that kind of really likes having dogs come up when I'm on trail. Somebody's friendly dog come
Right.
up and greet me. I kind of like that. So I don't know. I guess it kind of.
Now, I just with the current dog I have a different perspective. My dog loves all people. My dog does not like other dogs. So even if I have her on a leash and she sees another dog, she will lunge, and that other dog could respond. Right.
Right.
So,
yeah.
So she's a wonderful dog, unless there's another dog present.
Right. Okay. Well, yeah, that would be a challenge. I have two dogs that are not on a leash who just came over to say hi to me while we're doing the podcast. So there you go.
We'll have them jump up, and we'll put them on the podcast.
Yeah. No, they just ran off to go do something else.
Sure, they're on leashes very often because they look like they ran smack into a wall.
Yeah, they do. They really do.
Yeah, I've seen those dogs.
They're French bulldogs. I'm at my sister-in-law's place, and they have French.
Well, that's
bulldogs.
appropriate in Canada.
Yeah, French Canadian bulldogs.
Oui.
They do that too.
Yes.
You don't have
when
to bring that
and when
up
they
as much.
poutine, you kick it off the side of the trail. All right.
I was going to talk about other green subjects, but I don't think we should dare talk about it
Why
tonight.
not? We're doing so well.
I think we've gotten ourselves in enough trouble that, wow.
Ooh, I like UDAC's suggestion. We need to take your dog to podcast day. I love it.
Oh,
that would be
I
nice.
like that.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Okay. So we need a dog expert that should come on the show and tell us what should we do when we take a dog on a trail. What's the proper dog trail etiquette?
Excellent.
You put it in a plastic bag, sling it over a tree branch,
Yeah.
about head height, so everybody can see it.
The dog?
Yes, the dog.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's dog etiquette. That's how you take them on a trail.
I don't know if that's right.
Quit while you're ahead. I think he's talking about the
I
show.
think that ship has sailed long ago.
Yeah. Little late for tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bramlett says we call our dog Bear when not leashed, and we call her. People get a little nervous on the trail. Yeah.
Here, Bear.
Understood.
Here, Bear. No, that's not
Why
how
are
this
you
works.
calling it? Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I folks, thanks.
We're good.
I think we're good. Thanks, folks. This was a fun episode. This is not at all what we intended, but we're just in one of those moods, and we went with it. You never know what you're going to get on caching in the Northwest.
It's
like
true.
a box of chocolates.
It is.
So thanks for taking the time to listen. We hope you enjoyed this episode because we sure had a good time doing it.
We did. And we want to take a moment to thank Land Sharks and Gold Country Geotourism, our corporate Denali level sponsors. Landsharks.ca is the outdoor adventure and geocaching store. Check them out online, and they ship online orders daily. And for absolutely amazing geocaching adventures and non-geocaching adventures, whether it's golfing, fishing, hiking, camping, horseback riding, endless list of amazing things to do. Check out exploregoldcountry.com. And of course, we want to thank all of our faithful Denali level supporters. That's Land Sharks, Gold Country Geotourism, Team Squirrel, Groovy Owl, and Cachly, the geocaching app. If you want to know more about supporting this podcast, because clearly we need your support, click that Patreon link on the cachingandw.com, a website.
Maybe you want to come on and just help us stay on track, because the chat lackey's not helping.
He gave up tonight.
Yeah.
Okay, we overwhelmed the chat lackey tonight. Let's put it that way. Well, we also want to thank Boomer365.
And so appropriate for tonight's date, green words.
And Keats 94.
How about just finding our way?
How about the Geo, or tonight it could be the Greeno Travelers.
And the entire camp clan.
How about the Green Station Tuna?
Kennel Barb.
I see what we're doing there. Yeah, Skyhawker.
Ari 54321.
Green.
Green Broncos fan for life.
Kitty Green.
Fair Green West.
Subway Green. No.
Kev Mac Green.
CRS 90 Green.
How about Green Teus?
B Pen Green.
Wet Green Coaster.
We could do Wino Sea Green.
We could also do Coors Green.
Peach of Green.
Peach of Green. MC3 Green.
3 greens in a rose.
Greener Dock.
Let's go with Kid Vegas 9 Green.
Nicely played. On a green boat.
Green Nerf.
Sprouting Green. Sprouter Green. I don't know. Green Sprouts.
Air.
Green Logwork.
Seg Green Hove.
Nicely done. Green Max.
Alec Green Brick.
You talks to Green Rocks.
Green Dak.
L Green 9000.
Greeners.
Green Amore.
Greener Nav Pros.
Team Green Tex.
Green SM times 2.
Ooh.
The Green Magnet.
Greenback Tribe.
Trex Green.
And Green Niece.
There we
Wow.
That was tough.
That was completely unplanned, but kind of entertaining
and completely unnecessary.
and unnecessary. And I hope we didn't insult anybody reading of their name with changed with green. But in case anybody in the future listening to this podcast to catch up on things, which, I don't know why, but
especially this episode.
But if you made it this far, well, yes, in case you wondered, it is St. Patrick's Day here as we record this live. So,
yeah, it is.
Doing that.
Or we're just green with envy. I don't know what it is.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, hey, folks, thanks for taking the time to listen to this episode of Caching in the Northwest. Your support helps keep the quality shows coming. If you like the show, click the Patreon green link on cachingnw.com. If you don't like the show, maybe you didn't like this one, let us know what you want us to talk about. In either case, please subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and more. Subscribe. It gives us a green thumbs up. You can always call into 253-693-TFTC and leave us a comment, ask us a question, or share your gold with us any time of the day or night. And of course, you can email us at feedback@cachingnw.com. Join us every Thursday night at 9 p.m. Pacific for a live show and chat, and it won't always be green because it's not easy being green. The show is produced by Chris Umfenauer, Jim Paulwitz, and Jay Kennedy. It's licensed under a Creative Commons Attribution 3.0 license. Copyright 2022 by Chris Umfenauer. Folks, stay tuned for
The After Show.
The After Show. Oh, there you go. By Green Monkey, Wits, Green End, and Green of the North. Chris of the Green West.
All right. I think I just had a bath.
Shame that dog doesn't like you.
Green Acres is the place to be.
It is.
Farm living is the life for me.
I Hamless knows. This is one of those episodes that accidentally disappear from the archive.
No, it's one that never actually makes it there for some unknown reason.
Komakino saying, "Get a room, you two."
No kidding, right? Sorry about that, folks. That was probably way over the family-friendly rating there.
Okay. Oh, there's
What's
a
up?
March Madness school-wide rock, paper, scissors tournament
Nice.
at Monkey Cake School.
Nice. All right. All right.
Land
So-
Monkey experiences self-inflicted wounds.
Yeah.
Frequently. That's just geocaching, really.
Yes.
He
That's
makes
where I
it a
get
full
mine.
contact sport.
Exactly.
If there's no
So-
blood, you really didn't find it.
So I'm flipping over to our flagged comments here, and we've got quite a bit of podcast baking feedback tonight.
Microwave popcorn count?
I've kind of jumped to the after show. Did we even
Oh.
start the after show?
Yes, we did. I
Okay.
played the.
Did you? I was too busy being mauled by a dog. I
Yeah.
didn't hear it.
Hmm.
All right. So does microwave popcorn count as podcast baking? Sure.
It is
Only
a meal
if
in
you-
itself.
Yeah, it is. Only if you burn it at a campground
In someone else's
near
RV.
the RV. Right.
It's someone else's microwave oven.
Yeah.
Oh, in somebody else's RV.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else have we got?
You can get
Diet
green
popcorn.
popcorn. Okay, so IHAM says Guinness stew for dinner, Guinness chocolate cake for podcast baking, and that's the annual allotment. of Guinness.
That's awesome. That's a fair bit of Guinness.
Donners says carrot cake with double the cream cheese icing.
Oh, that's
So
nice.
it's just an excuse to consume cream cheese icing.
It basically is. I am very much looking forward to that. I can tell
That's
you
one
that.
for each dog.
That's right.
Let's see. GeoNav Pros says podcast baking, just sitting down to my sous vide beef pot roast. Ooh.
Is it
Nice.
corned beef pot roast? Because it should be corned beef tonight.
And what do we have? Oh, this is Monkey Cake saying it's chocolate Guinness cake with ganache. Just waiting for the coffee pot to finish up, and then we'll dig in.
Oh, nice.
That
Did
was
you
half
bake
an
a
hour
coffee
ago.
pot too?
Chocolate
Yeah.
Guinness cake with ganache sounds like it has an awful lot of panache to it.
Oh,
So I hope the coffee's done by
Dun-dun-dun.
now. That was half an hour ago. So
Yeah, if the coffee's still cooking, you may want to check on it.
MC3
Or
Cat
brewing.
says leave no trace, but DNA is okay.
well, yeah.
Yeah,
Or mercury laced droppings or something.
exactly.
So, what were you reading that you found out about the mercury laced?
I wasn't reading. I was listening to a podcast. So
What
one,
I've heard of these things. Are they any good?
yeah, some of them, not all of them.
Sometimes they go off the rails.
Yeah. Just saying. No, one of the podcasts that I do regularly listen to on my commute is it's called You're Dead to Me. It's a BBC4 comedy twist on history, but I quite enjoy it. So I don't know if anybody else who's in the live chat or anything listens to You're Dead to Me, but I would recommend it. I think it's a bit educational and a bit fun, and if you enjoy listening to people with British accents, well then Bob's your uncle.
That explains a lot about your interpersonal relationships.
How so?
You're dead to me.
Ah, yes.
Okay.
Well, I think that's
Never
what
mind.
appeals to me most about the podcast is the title. Yeah.
Too much fun. Well, let's see. Wet Coaster says, I used to have a case of Guinness in my fridge when I was at university. Nobody would just grab a beer, so I always had one to drink.
You kept Guinness in the fridge. That's interesting. Not at room temperature.
Well, he was in university.
It was at university. Yeah.
He has a lot to learn.
Very cool. Well, that was a fun podcast. I think we learned a little bit. Chris, before we wrap up, can you just remind us what the 7 categories
real.
were?
They were all the real categories. We just went off on a little bit of a tangent.
A little bit.
Plan ahead and prepare. Travel and camp on durable surfaces. Dispose of waste properly. Leave what you find. Minimize campfire impacts. Respect wildlife. And be considerate of others. You know what? Those are great things to live by no matter where you are.
Absolutely. No, that's good stuff. Thanks for reminding us what the actual content of the show was, Chris.
You know, that's also good if you're riding in somebody's car. Follow those 7 steps. Oh, there you go. And it just rolls off the tongue.
Yeah. You're welcome.
I think I have that in my car, right? On the gear shift.
It's a Prendle.
Yeah.
No, that's Prendle.
Oh.
It's different. Folks, thanks so much for joining us. And until next week, because you're going to wait a week till you listen to
a week
again.
after this episode.
You're going to need a week. Get out and get caching in the Northwest.